Ladies and gentlemen, if I may, it's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. I went over again. It's hard not to. The show's supposed to be 2 hours long. We try to do that, 3 to 5, and that's what I try to do. And God damn it, you guys are just too much fun, and there's too much stuff. Just too much stuff for me to cover. I have so many goddamn clips. It's ridiculous. God damn it. Can I do a couple of pieces of the Ingraham interview with Trump? It's not the whole thing. It's in pieces.
When you walk down.
Hold on. Can I just? They're short. They're not. I know.
A lot of people here tonight.
Hold on. Shut up, Laura. All right, here we go. All right. It's overtime. Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide, OT. Let's do this. This is Donald Trump tells women, I will keep you safe. Thank you, adjudicated rapist who was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 decades and who magically died while you were president and he got arrested. Huh. And you wished his madam / girlfriend / sex trafficking recruiter well in jail. We wished her well. He's going to keep you safe, ladies. Oh, and also, unless, of course, you have an ectopic pregnancy and you're bleeding to death in a hospital parking lot. In which case, I guess, fuck you. You shouldn't eat in the apple.
A lot of people here tonight, people who are sitting near me in the crowd tonight.
You can smell them. I could smell them. It's trying to hold it together.
We're wondering why our priorities seem to be elsewhere. Not that other people don't need help, but very concerned about that.
So we're into almost $300 billion for Ukraine, and yet they're offering people $750
for immediate needs.
For the worst.
Yeah, look at that. For immediate needs. Look at this. Laura Ingraham pulling a fucking 60 Minutes. How dare you? Now, granted, she might have just been wanting to do that just so she could make that hand gesture.
Yeah, but for the worst hurricane that anybody's seen. But more importantly than that is...
And by the way, it wasn't. It's not the worst. It's where it hit that made it the worst. It went inland so far, and the damage inland was so bad.
They don't have the people. They're not doing it. It's a very bad thing.
How would you do it differently?
Yes, let's hear it. He'd have a lot more people.
Have a tremendous team of people here. They don't have any people here. The people are all... I was in North Carolina yesterday. I was in Georgia. And Georgia's different. You have a good governor. He's doing a very good job. But North Carolina is a disaster. And it was...
I see. And by the way, North Carolina was hit harder than Georgia. But, you know, let's not factor that in.
Also hit very hard. But they don't have the people. And they're complaining there's no people around to help.
Is that what they're saying? There's no people around to help.
That was a horrific storm, much worse. And, you know, it's late in the season. You wouldn't think a thing like that could happen.
Again, what does that say to you? It's late in the season. You wouldn't think a thing like that could happen. So I guess you think it was completely reasonable that the House Republicans thought, well, we don't need any more funding for hurricane relief because it's late in the season. It's not going to happen. And if he was in office, he would have totally whiffed this as well. What's he saying? Other than somebody would come to his desk and go, well, there's a hurricane coming. And he's like, it's a little late in the season for that shit, right? I got a golf game.
But you have to get the people out, and they have to be out much more. I was there for the entire day, and I saw virtually...
The entire day?
Virtually nobody other than the people who were badly affected. And
he was in an area that had already been cleared out. And they were dealing with people who are directly affected, who are still in harm's way.
One man, he's got a house that's gone, and he's sitting on a rock. He's sitting on...
That's all he did.
A rock. What's gone on there? You have to help him, and you have to help him monetarily also.
You do? Monetarily? How? How do you do that? Give him $100 like that cashier lady that you were friends with?
And it's only, you know, if you look, it's Virginia, it's Alabama, it's you know, it's South Carolina was hit very hard. I spoke to their great governor there, and they were hit very hard. Florida was hit very hard.
Biden said the response has been robust and well coordinated, Mr. President.
Yeah, well, nobody says that. He doesn't know
Well, that's what President
he doesn't
Biden
know
said.
what robust is. He doesn't.
He doesn't know what robust is. That's also his general response to things is whatever Biden says, he'll pick a word. Trump doesn't know what the word robust means now. That's like whenever he's surprised by a word use, he just claims somebody else doesn't know what it means because he doesn't know. It's not registering.
Look, he should be there, and she should be there. She shouldn't be
They were already there.
at fundraisers. She's at fundraisers, and her teleprompter went off, and she didn't do well with the teleprompter off.
That's
Did you
happened
see
to me
that?
a few times.
Yeah,
by
but
the
you
way.
will get through it. It happens to me a lot. When the teleprompter goes off, you have to be able to do it. She didn't get through it, but she shouldn't be there anyway. She should be. I would say North Carolina is bad, is so bad, and
She was there
be
today for 3 hours, I believe, Kamala Harris. But the Democrats accused you of politicizing the storm, even though you got to the storm-ravaged area first.
No, Samaritan's Purse got there. He hitched a ride with them.
But that you were politicizing the storm, and that was unfair.
You know anything?
Well, by the way, by politicizing, they mean he went down there and talked and bitched about it, but didn't actually do anything. If he'd have been there, like if Samaritan's Purse had needed him as a former president to clear the area or to be a liaison, there's no reason why he would need. They would just reach out to FEMA, which is exactly what they did. If they needed him somehow, like, you know this area, you're from this is your home state or some shit like that, and you know the people down here and these, I don't know, these Appalachian people are up in the hills and they won't come down and stuff, and if you could talk to them and bring them out here, we could really help these people. That would be a way that he could functionally serve. He can't do any of that shit, nor would he. So all he did was politicize it. He hitched a ride down with Samaritan's Purse. He gave a speech and he fucked off. He took pictures and that kind of shit. It was just another trip to Arlington where he could give a thumbs up over a gravesite.
I do. They'll say, "Oh, it's political." If I do anything good, no matter what I do, they'll say, "Oh."
What'd you do that was good? What'd you do that was good besides bitch? What happened with the Samaritan's Purse, dispersal of shit where you were that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been there? One thing. One fucking thing. He didn't pull a fucking bottle of water off and hand it to anybody.
Oh, he did it for politics. I mean, they could have gotten there way before me.
They did by arranging their impact between the people who are local, the National Guard, the governors, and all those folks. They're already there. The funding is already there. That's what backfills the funding for the locals until they send whatever if the governors decide, hey, we need federal help, then those people come in. It's not whether or not they do come in, it's if they're asked for, if they've been requested.
The 40,000 people in North Carolina who have requested absentee ballots, only 1,000 of those have been returned. This isn't the hurricane ravaged area of North Carolina. I think Politico just did a piece about this yesterday. How will you in the Republican Party ensure that all voters in hurricane-hit areas have their votes counted? Because this could be a close election. Yeah. Those votes could matter, and all these mainstream publications are saying this now.
Yeah, what if somebody's ID washed away? What if a bunch of people, they were in the house and their wallet or whatever was on the fucking dresser and they just grabbed their phone and ran out and they forgot their wallet or their purse or their ID was in the house and it gets washed away? I guess they can't vote, right?
Republican areas got hit very hard. You know that. It got hit.
Republican areas.
Hit very, very hard. I believe, and many people are dead. You know, many people are dead.
Jesus Christ.
They don't even know what it's going to be in terms of the number. You know, they have hundreds are missing. And I can't really speak to it. I can only say that
hundreds of Republicans, you mean?
I believe they're going to go out and vote if they have to crawl to a voting booth. And that's what's happening.
No, it's not happening. They're not crawling to a voting booth. And they shouldn't have to. And she's asking you how you would make sure. What would you do? And all he's saying is, these fuckers, they're gonna stop worrying about all their entire life being washed away to come vote for me.
Laura's working on it. Other people are working on it. And we're trying to make it convenient for them to, but they just lost their house.
Convenient. That's the word I would use.
We're trying to make it convenient for them to go out and vote, but We are doing very well in certain areas that we weren't expected to do. Virginia, we're doing well. We're doing well all over. I think we're going to do great in North Carolina because the response has been so bad to the hurricane. This response has been horrific.
But didn't Elon praise Pete Buttigieg, saying he cleared the way for some of my helicopters to come in? He praised Buttigieg.
Well, that was 2 days late
yeah.
because what happened is he sent his great, gadgets in. He has the one.
Yeah, the gadgets.
The Starlinks. It's incredible for communication.
Is it what? It's incredible. Is it a communication gadget? Is that what it's for?
But they were asking me, the people of North Carolina and representatives, they said, could you possibly speak to Elon Musk and get it? And Elon came through, and then...
Yeah, the FEMA was already delivering them.
They sent it in, and they wouldn't allow it to go in. And it took 2 days.
Bullshit.
And then Boot Edge, as you say, Boot Edge, called, and I guess after 2 days late, though. And
were they shamed, are you saying, into
of course they were.
It
It was huge publicity that they wouldn't allow. He had helicopters.
No, it wasn't. Nobody cared. They were just coordinating shit.
Helicopters bringing stuff in that's not even gettable. You can't even get it.
Yeah, it's not even gettable. It's so cutting edge, but it runs on mud, so...
I mean, honestly, Elon did an amazing job because...
Amazing job with the not gettable stuff that he got. It's not even gettable. You can't even get it.
Because I called them and I told them the situation. They were trying to get it, but you can't, it's very hard to get.
Yeah, it's not gettable. I get it, yeah. I mean, I get what I can get. Some stuff is just not gettable.
I called him, and he had things being delivered literally by the time I got off the phone. I'm even wondering about it. It was so quick.
Oh, you mean because it was already happening? This asshole.
But then they got there, and they said they're going to confiscate it. They're going to keep it. FEMA said they're going to keep it. They wouldn't terminate it. Then the publicity got crazy.
They wouldn't terminate it?
Crazy, and then all of a sudden they released it.
What is Joe?
No, they didn't. Not at all. None of that happened. That is not what happened at all. All of that is just made up. It's hard to prove a negative with some of this because it's just fucking fantasy, but he's just talking out of his ass.
Biden.
And by the way, he's like 2 days late. They were 2 days late with it. And then stuff goes down there. Well, then that was the day that the stuff went down there. And by the time you got off the phone, it was being delivered. Were you on the phone with that motherfucker for 2 days? Is that what we're saying? Jesus.
I believe on Friday, said that he believes the election will be fair and transparent, but he's not sure it's going to be peaceful. And he walked into the White House briefing room to say that and other things. What do you think he was getting at?
I don't think
Gee, I think he was getting at the fact that it was fair last time and Trump didn't like it and it wasn't peaceful. And he's like, I don't even think he knows what peaceful means.
Referencing some of your rhetoric.
Hold on, wait.
To say that and other things. What do you think he was getting at?
I don't think
he was referencing some of your rhetoric.
I don't think he knows is his go-to, but he couldn't remember what the word she said was, so I don't think she knows. I don't think he knows what words did you say? Whatever. I don't think he knows what you just said. Not that I know, but.
I don't think he knows. I really don't. I think he has no idea what he said. I really don't. I think he's maybe referencing it. It could be him.
Referencing? You think it could be him? Referencing?
He said. I really don't. I think he's maybe referencing it. It could be him.
Yeah, reference it. Yeah, he was probably referencing it.
Him. But I don't think he really knows.
Yes, it's going to be him. Yeah, Joe Biden's going to go fucking Wolverine on everybody.
Look, they had a coup. They took it away from him. He's an angry person right now because they took it away. They shouldn't have done that. I'm no fan of his, but they should not have taken it away.
Yeah, because you know you're going to lose to her, and that's a nightmare.
They took his 14 million votes, and they...
No, they didn't. We voted for the ticket. Fuck off. Don't worry about us. If the voters feel this way, they won't vote for her. Fuck off.
Gave it to somebody who they didn't want. They didn't want her because she was last.
Yeah, I like her just fine. She was a great VP. She's been a great VP.
Last on the list.
Who would have been? I mean, do you think?
Well, I don't want to say because I'm not looking to build up somebody, but they had about 12 people, and she was the 13th, and 12 were better. All 12.
But do you think they made a mistake? I mean, do you think they made a political mistake?
Well, I'll tell you on November 6th.
Jeez Christ. They made a political mistake. They picked somebody who's totally unpopular, who only got no percent and dropped out early, and nobody liked her, and it was a coup, and nobody likes her, and she's unpopular and stuff. Oh, great. So why are you neck and neck with her? Why are you tied? If she's the most unpopular person, why is she tied with you? Why is this race close at all? If anything you're saying is true. And why is she gaining in a bunch of areas where she wasn't, where Biden wasn't expected to win? And why is she overtaking you as we get closer to the election? And why is the Democratic get out the vote situation way humming right along, and there is no Republican machine?
I can't tell you. I mean, she's not doing very well right now. We're going up, and you see that. We're leading in most of the polls and all. But we were up by 21 points. We were really beating. We had the debate with Biden, and after that,
And you're not now. So again, this goes back to her question. Was this a mistake, you weirdo?
We had this, I think, insurmountable lead. Then I had to do it all over again. Think of this. You're
boo fuckity who? Why? You think there's a giant policy and position difference between her and Biden? Good Lord.
like in a fighter. You're a fighter.
Woo-hoo.
And they come out.
It's not like a fighter. It's more like tag team wrestling because you both have two.
And the fighter's getting beaten badly, and they say, "We'll take that fighter out. We'll give you a new fighter now." That's what happened to me. This can only happen to me.
I see. So you're just exhausted, is what you're saying? You've thrown all your best punches. You got a cut above your eye. You're saying, "Cut me, Mick." You got nothing left in the tank, and they brought in a fresh fighter, and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna lose. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
But we're doing well now.
The lawfare that continues to.
Oh, edit. Look at that edit. Hold on. Back the fuck
It
up.
happened to me.
But
we're doing well now.
The lawfare that continues to be waged
that
against
edit?
you. It's almost every time you're up in the polls, something else comes down.
Or it could be that he keeps putting these things off, and then there's because we have regular order rules in court and in the justice system in this country, that you can't put stuff off forever. And every time he puts something off, he runs out of runway closer to the election because he's an idiot.
On a personal level, how do you deal with that? Just processing it, superseding.
Yeah, I can answer this one. He isn't. There's nothing going on upstairs at all. He's not processing any of this. This is lizard brain shit. He might as well be sitting on a rock looking at a fly with big tits going there is no, there's no he doesn't get up in the morning and have a philosophical or ethical or moral conundrum in his head. Those fucking switches were blown a long time ago.
Indictment. Another memo comes out.
From
another
a deranged
former aide,
lunatic.
Another former aide says this or that. So how do you, on a personal level, deal with it?
Well, what's happened is it's been totally discredited. The biggest case was in Florida. We won the case in its
No, you haven't.
entirety. We're leading in most of the other cases, and a couple of them are just.
We're leading in most of the cases. Motherfucker, you have sentencing in November.
Really bad judges that are, Democrat judges, Democrat areas. But I have many cases.
So you do realize that if you're saying you're doing, you're having a hard time in areas where they have a Democrat judge, that the case that was thrown out temporarily, was dismissed temporarily, was because you appointed that judge your fucking self. So why isn't that sort of a wash at the very least?
It's all what they did is they said, let's go after this guy. And
because he's no longer president and he's still committing crimes.
Let's cost them a lot of money, but more importantly, a lot of time and a lot of thought.
I see. So, which one do you think he has the least left over? I think he's got less money left over than he has time or thought. But I do realize that the gas tank of time and thought is on E as well. I think it's a sort of a race to the bottom in all three categories. Which will he run out of first? Just saying.
Will you restore faith in our justice system? A lot of people will say, well, he's just going to do to them what they did to him and get back at them.
A lot of people
I probably should
say that's what should happen.
Well,
you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, listen to these fuckers. This is not a good idea. Laura.
Well, but I think,
Look at this. Look at this. Like a fucking winner.
you know, punitively using government institutions is what got us in this mess in the first place. And our town hall that we did back in February, one of the lines that really resonated, I think, with people is when you said, "My revenge is going to be my success."
Yeah, well, I do believe that, but I will say this:
No, take the win, you dumb motherfucker. She's trying to help you. They're trying to clean this up. They arranged for this. Your fucking dumbass sons and your daughter-in-law arranged for this shit so Laura could fucking cone your fucking dumbass jet into the gate with her 2 fucking red lights and make sure you don't crash into the jetway. Don't this way, not that way.
have started a terrible precedent.
They have, yeah. So, I mean, it's not up to me to stop it. What am I supposed to be, the bigger person? Fuck them.
We've never had this. We do have that in third world countries, banana republics, a lot in South America where they go after somebody politically that's an opponent. We never.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be alive right now if that was true at all. I mean, you just wouldn't.
Never had it to any great
Shit, you wouldn't even be in the country.
extent, really almost at all.
You'd be deceased and out of the country.
But you're not going to do that. When you get in office, you're going to look at all your political enemies.
No,
and
I
like,
want to make this the most successful country in the world. That's what I want to do.
All right, we're good. We're it already. We're good. Seriously, the United States is the most successful country in the world. Still got work to do because we can do better, but we're better than everybody else at all this shit.
And so for all the women out there who, maybe don't like this tweet or this joke or this.
Women. You do realize Roe v. Wade is gone. We're this close to getting rid of your right to vote, lady. Women.
Nickname. Tonight, what do you say to them about the safety of our homeland?
I say to
I will save you from everything except your own womb.
the women, and I think I do very well with the women, actually. I think it's...
Ugh. I've not read Melania's book, but I don't think that's true.
A lot of fake polling. I think I do very well because I say I will keep you safe. I'm not going to allow prisoners to come out from Venezuela and many other countries all over the world, the Congo.
Blacks, the black guys, black prisoner guys with their big dangly bits, ladies walking around your neighborhood. Jesus.
The Middle East, they come out from the Congo in tremendous numbers. They're coming out of the Middle East, Yemen, and lots of countries that aren't particularly friendly to us. I'm going to keep you safe. I'm not going to let people hurt you. I'm going to have a very strong...
They were bugged by that, the protector line. Like some of the people went crazy about that. He said he's going to be my protector. That's looking down on us. So that's patronizing.
I'm looking up at them.
Yes, that's true. He's upskirting the women of America.
I'm going to protect men too. It's my job to protect as president. They don't protect right now. When they let 13,099 criminals, murderers, these are people in prison, some getting ready for the death penalty, and they allowed them to come into our country.
Yeah, a lot of those happened during your presidency, dum-dum.
When I get them out and when I say it's not happening and when I close the...
Wait. So you're going to take death row inmates who we caught in the United States that are not citizens, but are guilty of multiple murders, like violent felons. And what you're going to do is just drop them off in an unfriendly country to do what? Buy another plane ticket? What do you mean?
The border so that bad people, we want people in our country, but they have
also they fly in, these fuckers that you're talking about.
Have to be people that are capable of loving our country and that are good people. They have to go past tests. So
yeah, what's the love our country test? What do you hook up electrodes to their genitals or?
I say to people, and I'm not ashamed of that. I saw a couple of wise guys on the left saying, "Oh, who is he?" I want to protect women. I'm going to.
I would like to say, as a wise guy on the left, I did not say, oh, who is he? I was like, you're fucking gross. You're an adjudicated rapist, and the idea that you're going to be the protector of women when you've set up a situation where women are dying of ectopic pregnancies and miscarriages and stuff in all over the country is an absurdity. And you disgust me. I didn't go, oh,
I'm going to protect women, and I'm going to protect men, and I'm going to protect children. And that's my obligation to do it with the military and with law enforcement.
100 years.
Look at that fucking edit. Chop it around much? What the fuck did he say after that? That Fox was like, nope.
And that's my obligation to do it with the military and with law enforcement.
100 years from now.
Look at that slice. They weren't even trying.
We'll probably all not be here.
Did they get no fucking cutaways of the folks there or anything like that to just cover some of these edits?
How do you want to be remembered?
As a monument to a circus peanut that had a deep and loving relationship with Pat Robertson and aged mentally and physically like gas station sushi on a windowsill, and whose stench will be remembered forever and ever. Something like that?
I think somebody that really worked hard and turned a country around that's going bad. This country's going bad. We're not going to have a country, or certainly we're not going to have a country like this. So more than anything else, I think I want to have...
Should they cut out part of that?
Somebody say for a long time from now and in a short time from now, he was able to make America great again.
Scale of 1.
He wasn't able to do his makeup, though. And the stress is definitely causing a lot of thinning in this general area, which is very telling. He was able to make America great again, but he also had a propensity for slamming his face in a bowl of Cheeto dust.
1 to 10, this rally. What was it?
This was something really special. Well, this was love. This was pure love. I think it was maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 12.
I knew it was.
Thank you.
Really? Not a 13 or a 15 or 1,000 or 100? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was just a 12? That's kind of sad. That's not very good at all. By the way, he also had another... They put this out in chunks. Here's the other chunk they released. And I gotta say, they edited the fuck out of this thing. I'm shocked.
Out and Lee Greenwood was singing.
Oh,
I've known
Yeah, that never happens.
you for 20 plus years, a long time. And I looked at you and there was an emotional moment where, like, I think people around me were starting to tear up. Were you close to tearing up at that moment?
Well,
No. Because you have to understand, Laura, tears are for weak women and even weaker men.
if I admitted that, I think I'd lose a lot of votes. I'm not supposed to.
That's so fucking weird. And it does point to something, that he believes that part of his success is on this bullshit facade of masculinity that like is nowhere near real. Somebody who's a toxic masculinity. I don't consider him masculine even in the traditional obvious sense. If you even think about all the things that make up quote unquote an alpha male, he's none of those fucking things. Can't drive a car, fucking golfs, can't like imagine this motherfucker climbing a ladder, much less riding a fucking bicycle. He doesn't lift weights, he doesn't work out. His physique's fucking shit. He looks like, you know, like a melted dreamsicle, right? He wears fucking caked on foundation makeup. He's got a comb over. He, you know, intermittently dyes his hair poorly, right? He's got a nunt and a gut, and like he's got like the most alpha male thing about him is that he changes wives on the regular, and you know, as long as you know they keep up their looks, they can stick around, and then he'll move on to the next one. That's the thing they think is the most alpha male about him. But everything is about himself, even his business, like, is shit. There's nothing like He's got drive. He gets up and complains like a whiny little bitch every morning, and he goes to bed whining like a little bitch every morning. Like, there's nothing fucking alpha male about this asshole at all. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to make those fucking Rocky poster things of his, right? That's a sign you aren't an alpha male, is that they have to put your head on Rocky's body. If you were an alpha male, they wouldn't have to do that.
Do you want a president that cries? I don't think so. So I'll say
You're not a president.
absolutely not.
The ride to the hospital from here, take us in the car.
What did it smell like? Well, as I was, the car, there were a lot of elements in the windows where, even thinking about it, I couldn't see very well. There was like a haze that was pretty, and there was, I don't know if it was the odor of the angel of death that followed me around. And I was like, and something like that.
Well, there was a lot of blood. And when
Oh my God. Because the ear bleeds, the blah, blah, blah.
I was down
We're not talking about in your stool.
and bullets were flying over my head, I noticed tremendous amounts of blood.
Yeah, again, I gotta say, that's not a tremendous amount of blood. He's definitely bleeding, but I thought he had fallen on his ear and scratched it. Like, it didn't look like even a head wound bleeds. Anybody had a fucking head wound in their life? I know I have. Fucking, especially up here, past the hairline or the side of your head or whatever. It's scary. It's a lot of fucking blood because your body wants to shut that shit down as fast as it can. So it just fills it with blood so it coagulates. You put pressure on it and then it just, like, fucking biggest scabs you'll have as well are going to be in that area. And considering it's not a lot of blood. There's none on his fucking collar. There's none on his hand. Right? Look at this. It's almost shockingly little blood on. He's wearing this white shirt. He's got his fucking white sleeve. His skin is an orangish white. And there's these two streaks coming from the edge of his fucking ear. That's not a lot of blood. At all.
But I felt it's very, they talk.
Look at that. That's not a bunch of blood. That's pretty minor. That just shows me that you've never actually, like, you've lived such a privileged fucking life. You've never had, besides, I guess, his scalp reduction surgery and his liposuction, which he was not awake for. He's never seen, like, he doesn't do anything where he can get cut. Right?
Talk about surreal. It wasn't surreal. I had total understanding of where I was. And
wait a minute. What do you think surreal means? What? Hold on. What's his point? I hope he fills in the. But what?
The Secret Service people were very brave because I got down. I think people were shouting maybe or whatever, but I got down
yeah, whatever. I don't know.
pretty fast. I was always impressed with that. I got down fast. If I didn't get down that fast, that would have been a second miracle. But they were flying right over my head, and you could hear them. I didn't know you could hear bullets. You could hear they're whizzing by at 4,000 miles an hour or something. But
or something.
I think that more than anything else, they wanted me to go out by stretcher, and I didn't like that. I had a lot of people watching. I don't want that. But also, and I thought.
Also, what? No, they didn't. What? When did that come up? We heard him, like, get my shoes, like, is what we heard. We didn't hear fucking, all right, we're going to need a stretcher, get him over, like, nonsense. This was a conversation afterwards, like, with Don Jr. This is just bullshit.
They did a great job.
Because the president has to look.
Well, I don't want to go out. I felt that I was hit in the ear, and it
Really? What gave you that idea?
felt like the top of the ear.
You mean where it actually hit? You felt it, did you? So you had an injury, and you felt it where you had the actual injury. Jesus Christ. Do you need any more examples of how this guy has lived such a privileged life? He has no idea what like physical, like you think this guy's ever hit his fucking thumb hammering in a nail to hang a picture? For real. Like he doesn't even understand that. Yeah, tell me about your ear again. Yeah, Corey Comparator's fucking family is looking at a fucking picture of his on the mantle now. But tell me again about your little ear.
Grazed my ear, but it was really bloody, and the Secret
No, it was not.
Service people and rightfully thought I was hit on 3 or 4 places because there's so much blood. Because the
No, that's not what they thought.
ear bleeds, or whatever they say, cartilage. The doctor at Butler said cartilage.
Is that what he said? Cartilage. Yeah, that's what it is. Your cartilage has so many veins in it. Fuck me. No, he didn't. He said it's cartilaginous. There's cartilage in the area, but it doesn't bleed because of the cartilage. It's because of the veins in there. It's because of the blood flow around the cartilage. The cartilage itself doesn't hold blood, you weirdo.
And they say because of cartilage. The ear
No, not because of... Nobody says because of cartilage, you fucking weirdo.
bleeds more than any other part of the body. There was blood all over the place.
No, nobody says that. This is so odd.
And I really thought that only was hit in the ear. So they said, sir, you were hit in other locations. And they're going all over my body. They probably realize what a body this guy had. But they're going all over. And they didn't find... I said, look, I'm not going on a stretch, and get me up. I wanted my shoes. Because... No,
because people would see the lifts in them.
What was it with
they
the
hit
shoes?
me. They hit
What
me.
was
No,
it?
no. When they went down, they hit me so hard that for some reason I think they were going at a different angle. Both shoes were off.
Are you wearing those shoes today?
It's
Same
different,
shoes?
but it's sort of similar. But it's sort of a little different. I have it. Those shoes are loaded up with lots of blood. I'm not.
What? What are you talking about? Jesus Christ, man! Your ear got clipped, you dumb motherfucker. You didn't get stabbed in the abdomen. Your shoes weren't bloody, stupid.
I'm not looking to wear them again.
Oh yeah, you want them to be in the Trump Museum, the Trump shooter museum? Good Lord, Leslie, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Thanks for the Venmo's right there in case anybody uses Venmo and they want to support the show. Throw me a cup of coffee, something like that. That's the way you would do it. And also super chats available. I haven't talked about this stuff in a long time because I'm too busy giving the performance of a lifetime on the greatest live stream that exists and being as Hal Sparks, and Hal Sparks. And also, just so you know, your body doesn't bleed because of cartilage. It's not cartilage that holds all the blood in your body. It's just capillaries. Is what is. There's a lot of capillaries in the ear and the head, and the skin on the head, and so that's why it bleeds a lot. It's not the cartilage, not capillaries, not cartilage. Just saying.
But they got me to the car. I thought they did a very good job. Some people say slow. I don't think slow. They got me to the car, and I think I might have been holding them back. My first instinct was to finish my speech. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that a crazy instinct? I'm pouring, but they didn't live. That's where they put their foot down. They got me to the car. I got in. I did a little talking, not much. 2 very, very good people. Sean is fantastic, but 2 very, very good people. And they got me to the hospital. It was so professional. Everything was, look, they had a bad moment with the building, a bad moment.
How long did it take in the car, approximately?
7, 8 minutes, very quick. And the hospital was great. And I didn't realize this. I never knew they did. When a president goes to an area, they close a hospital in its entirety. It's ready for exactly this. I didn't know they did that, but they did.
Okay. They do not shut down hospitals because the president is in the area. And they certainly don't shut it down for former presidents and presidential candidates. The hospital was not closed for fucking business because you had a fucking rally nearby, you absolute dink. No. You didn't realize that because it doesn't happen.
So the hospital, I got there, the doctors were outside, the nurses, and no people. They literally close it and almost...
They literally don't. They seal off the area you're in and they move people out of the emergency area. They don't shut down the fucking hospital.
Like they expect this. No, it's a genius thing, but you would never do. Who would ever think that? And I was so impressed. They got me in, and they took care of it. Butler Hospital did a fantastic job.
They did. They're good with ears. They're good with cartilage. It's a big place for. So they have a cartilage specialist there.
The doctors were amazing, and also
really they're amazing doctors that could treat a clipped ear.
So amazing on the other.
You don't feel embarrassed that they moved people out that probably had like appendix bursting and all kinds of shit so they could deal with your clipped ear?
Two gentlemen that were hurt very badly. They thought they weren't going to live, and they ended up living, and I think they'll be very healthy
David
again.
and James.
Mm-hmm.
They were very, very good people, good Trump
They were?
supporters, and we took good care of them. I mean, they took 2 hard shots. They were not supposed to make it, and not only did they make it, they really came out. I think they're going to be 100%. But
they're not going to be 100%. Oh my gosh, thanks for the overtime bonus. That's really sweet. Good Lord. Who's that? Chris, thank you so much for the super chat.
Corey didn't make it, and I felt we had an obligation to Corey to come back here and help him out. We raised a lot of money through different things, but we raised a lot of money for the family, and they deserve it for what they've
Yeah, you didn't give any, Mr. Billionaire.
gone through. They really
Not a fucking penny.
had a great father and great husband. And
When you saw them for the first time today, again,
Yeah.
since that horrific day, what was that like?
well, it was amazing. The daughters, beautiful, 2 young girls, and a beautiful mother.
All right. Yeah, I'm creeped out now. What the fuck? Their dad and their husband is dead. I don't want to hear your assessment of their fucking looks.
And they're at the bottom of the plane. I get off, and they're the first people I greeted and met. And I knew them from before, of course, from the tragic event. But they're having a hard time.
Look at this shit. Look at him. Looking at that, like. If anybody at Fox liked him at all, they would cut the shot off here. But this is Dan Scavino's account. This is the guy who runs used to run Trump's Twitter account, and now posts a lot of the stuff on X, right, and on Truth Sinkhole as well. You'd cut this part off, right? You'd show it like this. Even frame it like that. Like that's what you'd want. But Scavino wants credit because he wants to show this when Trump sees this, Scavino wants Trump to know that he put that guy there. And this footage is going to end up in a fucking book.
Actually, they're having a very hard time. It was so crazy. The whole thing was just a crazy time. And
yeah, thank God he's got such a great vocabulary and dealing with the depth of pain that people are dealing with. It's so crazy. It was such a crazy time. It's wacky.
we had to sort of come back and complete the
Had to sorta.
circle. And that's what
Had to come back and sorta complete the circle. Fuck. And also the Iraq.
we did. Even the way I started, I sort of said, like, here we are. Let's go.
What was the first?
Is that what you said? Here we are. Let's go. Just the three of us. No, you didn't. The line was, as I was saying, but I think he just forgot the magic line he was going to say. He can't remember what he was going to say. You could tell. Look at his face. As I was going to say, the line that I was going to say when I was like, something. It's not coming. Laura, you're supposed to say it. You mean, as I was saying? As I was saying. Yes, everybody loves that, right? Everybody, as I was going, a lot of people will say.
Thing Melania
Well,
said to you.
she was watching it on television. She was
No, she was not.
watching it. I think she paused it for a couple of minutes, and somebody.
Yes, she paused it and was like, "Ugh, early." Early in the fuck. It's happened like 6 minutes in. That means she paused it at like 3 minutes. She was like, enough. She didn't pause it and fucking do other stuff. You don't pause the fucking speech magically about the time he's going to be shot. She turned it off. she was watching something else. And when she came back, when somebody went like, he's been shot, he's fine, but somebody took a shot at him and somebody else got hit and da-da-da. And then she turned on and watched it over and over and over again.
She called and ran to the television.
She ran to the television to watch the replay of it where she said, I didn't know what had happened. And when she already had been told what had happened.
She's great. Look, she had a bigger problem. She had a problem with how does Barron take it. You know, Barron was playing tennis with his friends, and somebody walked over and ran over and said, your father's been shot. He's been shot, Barron. And Barron really likes his father a lot. And
wait a minute. Somebody shot the security guard at the Tiffany's in Trump Tower? I didn't realize. I mean, I guess the fact that you were clipped in the ear. Wait a minute. Holy shit. She had an affair with one of the three people that was hit at the... Wait.
So does Eric, Don, Tiffany, Ivanka, the whole group. But
they all love their dad, whoever he is, whatever that phrase is. Who the fuck talks about their family that way? It's so odd. You're so weird.
I've been a good father to the kids.
Have you? I want to be remembered as a guy who was as good a father as any father should be, because guys shouldn't do that shit.
How is he doing in college?
He's doing great. He's always a great student. Barron's a very good student. He's a tall student also, by the way. Pretty.
Must be genetics.
Tall student, but he's a great boy. And he came in, Mom.
He's a tall student and a great boy. That's, you know, that's what I like most about Trump, I think, is just how closely knit his family is. Or, you know, I think he said his family was very tightly knit. Well knit. That's what he said. He was like, I come from a family that was very well knit.
Oh, Mom, what happened? So, and then they saw me get up, and then they saw the fist bump. You know, it's very interesting. When I got...
No, they didn't. They heard about it so far afterwards that everybody knew that he was okay, that it had happened and all this kind of shit, that he'd already left. By the time they saw any of it, it wasn't like watching Tower 2 fall or some shit. They watched it. They didn't watch it in real time, so they knew what was going to happen before it actually happened in every sense. They knew you were already okay and on your way to the hospital.
Got up. People thought maybe he's dead because, you know, they lifted, and they're very strong guys. They can get you up fast. But I said, I'm not going to go anywhere. And I convinced them I thought I was only hit in the air. It's very interesting. But they got me up, and I watched, and it was dead silent, even though I was standing up and in vision, because people didn't know I was alive or not. And
by the way, you can hear people yelling and clapping. There's some people talking. There's still people like yelling that he's not safe and all this kind of stuff. There's cameras clicking all over the place. There's a bustle of an entire crowd. It wasn't silent at all.
And then when I did the fist pump, everybody realized, and they're screaming, USA, USA. It was the craziest day. It was a crazy time.
Oh, it was crazy. Back in the crazy. We were such crazy kids back in the craziness. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild. You know, those were the days. And you know you were then. My Lord. And can I remind everybody that this motherfucker said at one point at the RNC, I'm going to speak of this once and I will never speak of it again. And then, of course, like everything else, bullshit. Thank you guys for tuning in to, an extra hour and 15 minutes. I'm sorry, not sorry for my Midwestern goodbye. This is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams, bar none. Sorry, everybody else. I know other people are trying to live stream. You fucking done, son. This is it. This is the only one who can take long form pieces, not cut little chunks together, hide behind just using the clippy parts and only going with that. I am the dude who can do the whole clip, and it's all still as entertaining as you and your little snippy pieces. So there. Anyways, it's good stuff. Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Tomorrow, we have a morning show. And then the afternoon show, mornings at 9 a.m., Hal Sparks Mornings Mega Worldwide. And then the afternoon is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. And then regular show on Thursday. And then Friday, I fly to Kansas City for the Sexy Liberal show. And I will be in Kansas till Wednesday. I'm going to stick through there and visit with some family. And so I will be doing my shows on the regular, but I will be Airbnb-ing it. So wish me luck. So, and we should have, hold on. Well, let's see. I have to say, Chip was napping on the stairs when I went out before. Let me check. Hold on. Real quick.
What's happening? There she is. There she is. Here she is. There she is.
This is Maddie, everybody. I tried to get Molly, but she ran away. And Chip is asleep in his little nest, which he is too big for, but he won't come out. So Molly the Flop is here. So, Maddie the Flop. Yeah, Maddie the Flop is here. Listen. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, there you go. Maddie's just a sleepy girl. She's like, I just want to be here and just go to sleep on you. And I just want to be here. So this is Maddie. Maddie girl. There she is. Sleepy girl. Yeah. She just wants to hang out. Yay. And somebody was asking about Texas Paul or something earlier. I love Texas Paul, and I would love to have him back on again, but he's very busy, and we live stream, and he's working hard, and so am I, and stuff like that. So, hi, Texas Paul. And Boston Brian, you're awesome. I hope you're feeling better. Love you. And from me and Maddie to everybody out there who likes and supports the show, thank you, Luis, for the super chat. Thank you, JD Christie, for the super chat. Thanks for Vincent for the members, for being a member for that long. Thank you, Barbara, for the like. Look at this. You guys are wonderful. I will leave you with this. Hold on. I'm just worried. I just don't want Maddie to have to experience the kidney is my problem. Don't move, Maddie.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Whew, that was scary. You okay, Maddie? You gonna be okay, girl? I think you are. I think you'll be okay, girl. I think so. See you guys tomorrow.